Who owns the K in K content? From K-Pop Demon Hunters to Katseye, Western origins blur the line. The massive global success of Netflix's hit animated film, K-Pop Demon Hunters, has set off something of an identity crisis for Korea's cultural sphere. The one question echoing across the country's content and media industry is deceptively simple. What exactly counts as K content? The question stems from a barrage of recent triumphs under the K banner, from Korean literature, films, and series to music, musicals, and animation, which, upon closer inspection, share surprisingly little beyond varying degrees of Korean elements or involvement. It is not the first time the industry has faced such existential musings. K-pop has long been facing similar debates for years now, as groups like Katseye and XG push the definition of the genre well beyond its birthplace. As the K label grows looser in meaning, this introspection leads to a bigger question. If the ownership of the K brand no longer stays solely in Korean hands, what does that mean for these industries' future? The dilemma is compounded by the rising dominance of global capital. For skeptics, the concern is not only about who finances the production, but also who ultimately controls the narrative and profits that define the latest Korean wave. At this turning point, experts argue that defining the financial borders of K content in a borderless marketplace means little compared to the bigger challenge of building a lasting cultural identity in the modern era, something that Koreans themselves have been grappling with amid an unprecedented cultural expansion. Introspection into K-ness. While K-Pop Demon Hunters certainly reignited the latest round of debates, modern Korean culture has always been a hybrid, shaped by foreign influences as much as by domestic traditions. The global breakthrough of K-pop in the late 2010s, led by juggernauts BTS and Blackpink and amplified during the pandemic, marked a turning point. But even in its earliest form, K-pop was never entirely homegrown, and its evolution over the years has been driven by a global network of songwriters, producers, and choreographers. By the mid-2000s, SM Entertainment had already begun to actively buy songs from the United States and Europe, said Choi Jin-suk, the global A&R executive of creation music rights under SM, during the Mukong conference on September 10th, pointing out that some of K-Com's biggest hits, like Girls' Generation's Genie, 2009, and TVXQ's Neurotic, 2008, were produced by studios in Northern Europe. K-pop quickly absorbed the songwriting structure of the United States and Europe and recreated them into something new through a unique Korean lens, Choi noted. In recent years, the industry has gone even further, debuting groups that defy traditional definitions of K-pop. That is one of the reasons many K-pop fans debate whether HYBE's Katseye, which consists almost entirely of non-Korean members, except one, but was developed through a K-pop production system, could or should be considered a K-pop act. But such questions mean little considering that overseas audiences already call the genre K-pop anyway, said Lee Gyu-tak, a professor of cultural studies at George Mason University, Korea. If certain songs are marketed and branded as K-pop for global listeners, they are K-pop songs. Debates on whether they should be considered Korean don't really mean much when they are already perceived as such. Still, Lee emphasizes that public discourse about what constitutes modern Korean culture is essential. Many Koreans still associate the Koreanness only with traditional elements. For Korea to further foster its cultural ecosystem, embracing the contemporary Korean culture is integral going forward. And the same question has also been affecting film and television. The record-breaking popularity of K-Pop Demon Hunters, a Hollywood-backed, globally marketed animation with Korean inspirations, has made many Koreans wonder, can we celebrate it as another triumph for Korean culture, as we did with homegrown successes like Parasite 2019 or Squid Game 2021 through 25? Korean gaze and global lens. Many global titles carrying the K label may appear to be part of the same wave, but in reality, they are from vastly different roots. Some are crafted by creators with domestic audiences as their primary focus, while others are driven by diasporic or international producers and use Korean themes to explore questions of identity and heritage. Take Squid Game, one of the most groundbreaking hits that redefined the possibilities of K-content. The series was helmed by director Hwang Dong-hyuk, who repeatedly admitted in 2021 that he never expected it would resonate so powerfully with people around the world. Similarly, Bong Joon-ho's Parasite, which made history as the first non-English language film to win the Academy Award for Best Picture, was a deeply Korean story of class struggle and was crafted squarely within Korea. Hong Kong's Nobel Prize win in literature and the massive global success of the reality TV show Culinary Class Wars 2024 are also two examples of Korean storytelling and narratives reaching a wider global audience. On the other hand, Oscar-winning film Minari 2020 was directed by Lee Isaac Chung, a second-generation Korean immigrant, and explored diasporic themes. Netflix's Beef 2023 and XO Kitty 2023 Ander are also crafted by Korean American creators from immigrant backgrounds, with the latter set specifically in Korea. For these works, Korea and its culture serve as themes, inspirations, or a physical setting. Some projects fall in between, such as the Tony Award-winning musical Maybe Happy Ending, which was co-created by Korean writer Hang Park and U.S. composer Will Aronson.